Hello, English learners, and welcome back to the English Practice Podcast. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Sophie. We are so glad you've decided to join us for an incredibly detailed and practical lesson designed for everyday life in the USA.
That's right, Sophie. Today, we are going on a trip. We're heading to a place that can be exciting, but also a little stressful if you don't know the language. The airport.
It's so true. I still get a little nervous before a flight, just making sure I have everything and that I'll be on time. It feels like there are a million little steps to remember.
Me too. There's a lot to think about. And navigating an airport in a new country can be a real challenge. There are so many steps, so many signs, and so many specific questions people will ask you.
That's why we're dedicating today's entire episode to this topic. We're going to start before you even leave the house and walk you through the entire process, all the way to collecting your bags at your destination.
We will break down every possible conversation, explain all the key vocabulary, and discuss situations you might run into, from a delayed flight to a lost bag.
This lesson will be your ultimate guide to air travel in the USA. So let's start with step one, which happens before your flight is even booked: understanding ticket types.
A great point, Sophie. Not all airplane tickets are the same. When you buy a ticket in the US, you'll often see different fare classes. The cheapest is usually called Basic Economy.
Basic economy is very restrictive. It's a no-frills ticket. You often cannot choose your seat in advance. It will be assigned to you at the gate.
That's right, and with Basic Economy, you are almost always in the very last group to board the plane.
Critically, some airlines with this fare don't even allow you a full-sized carry-on bag that goes in the overhead bin. You may only be allowed one small personal item.
What's a personal item exactly?
A personal item is a small bag, like a purse, a laptop bag, or a small backpack, that must fit completely under the seat in front of you.
So if you buy Basic Economy, you have to read the rules very, very carefully. You might save money on the ticket, but you might have to pay extra for everything else.
The next step up is main cabin, or just economy. This is the standard ticket that most people buy.
With a main cabin ticket, you are generally allowed a personal item and a carry-on bag for the overhead bin.
You can also usually choose your seat in advance, though sometimes the airline will charge a fee for a more desirable seat, like one with extra legroom or one near the front of the plane.
Then you have the more expensive options like business class or first class. These are at the front of the plane.
These tickets come with much bigger, more comfortable seats, more legroom, free checked bags, priority boarding, and better food and drink service. They are, of course, much more expensive.
For our traveler today, a woman named Chloe, we'll assume she has bought a standard main cabin ticket for a domestic flight. Now, let's talk about packing.
We have to discuss the 311 rule for liquids. This is a strict rule from the TSA, the Transportation Security Administration.
I'm glad you brought that up. The 3-to-1-to-1 rule means any liquids, gels, or aerosols in your carry-on bag, like toothpaste, shampoo, or hairspray, must be in containers that are 3.4 ounces or smaller. That's 100 milliliters.
That's the first 3 in 311. Well, it's 3.4, but they call it the 3.43-1-1 rule.
All of these small containers must then fit into one single quart-sized clear zip-top bag.
That's the first one in the rule. You can't just have the small bottles loose in your bag. They must all be inside this one clear bag.
And finally, each passenger is allowed only one of these bags. That's the second one in the rule. So 3.4-ounce bottles in one clear bag and only one bag per person.
Also, be careful about prohibited items. You can't bring sharp objects like knives or flammable items like lighters in your carry on. If you're not sure about an item, you can check the TSA website.
Okay, Chloe has packed correctly. Now it's 24 hours before her flight. It's time for online check-in.
Most airlines allow you to check in for your flight on their website or using their app on your phone. This is when you officially confirm you are taking the flight.
During online check-in, you'll confirm your name, enter your passport or ID information, and provide any frequent flyer details.
This is also your chance to pay for any checked bags in advance. It's often slightly cheaper to pay for them online than to pay at the airport.
Most importantly, this is when you get your boarding pass. You can either print it at home or save it to your phone as a mobile boarding pass.
I always use a mobile boarding pass. It's so convenient. It's a QR code that they can scan directly from your phone.
Me too. It means one less piece of paper to worry about. To check in online, you'll need your confirmation number.
A confirmation number is a short code of letters and numbers, usually 6 characters long, that you received in your email when you first booked your flight.
All right, so Chloe has checked in online and has her mobile boarding pass ready on her phone. Now it's the day of the flight. She's heading to the airport.
When you arrive at a large U.S. airport, the first thing you need to know is your airline and your terminal. A terminal is just a large building, and big airports can have several of them.
Your flight information will tell you which terminal your airline is in. For example, your flight departs from Terminal 4.
When you get to the terminal, you'll see 2 levels for cars, one for departures, where you go to catch a flight, and one for arrivals, where you go to pick someone up.
Chloe is dropped off at the departures level. She walks inside the terminal. The place is huge with signs pointing to different airlines. She finds a sign for Global Air.
Instead of going to the main counter, she sees a line of machines. These are self-service kiosks. This is a very common way to check your bags.
Using a kiosk is great if you've already checked in online. It's a touchscreen computer that lets you manage your baggage drop yourself.
Chloe walks up to an empty kiosk. The screen says, "Touch here to begin." It gives her options: check in or print bag tags. She chooses print bag tags.
The kiosk asks for her information. She can scan her passport, enter her confirmation number, or even swipe a credit card to find her reservation.
She chooses to type in her 6-digit confirmation number. Her flight information appears on the screen. Chloe Miller, Flight 582 to Chicago.
It asks her to confirm the number of bags she is checking. She had already paid for one bag online, so she selects 1.
The kiosk screen then displays a series of safety questions. For example, did you pack your bags yourself? And have your bags been in your possession at all times?
She answers yes to these questions. The kiosk then says, "Printing your bag tag now." A long, sticky paper tag prints from a slot in the machine.
This is the bag tag. It has her name, her destination, a barcode, and her flight numbers on it.
She has to attach this tag to the handle of her suitcase herself. There's a peel-off adhesive strip on the back. She loops it around the handle and sticks it together.
Now that her bag is tagged, she takes it to a special, shorter line called the bag drop.
At the bag drop counter, an agent is waiting. The agent's job is just to check her ID, weigh the bag, and send it on its way. It's much faster than the full check-in line.
The agent says, "Good morning. Can I see your ID, please?" Chloe shows her driver's license.
The agent puts the bag on the scale. Okay, 45 pounds. You're all set. It's checked through to your final destination in Chicago.
Let's pause on that phrase, final destination. This is important if you have a connecting flight, also known as a layover.
A layover is when you fly from city A to city B and then take a different plane from city B to city C. City C is your final destination.
For domestic flights within the US, your checked bag will almost always be transferred automatically. You don't need to do anything during your layover in City B.
But for many international layovers, especially when you first arrive in the US, you have to collect your bag, go through customs, and then recheck it for your next flight.
It's always a good idea to confirm with the agent. You can ask, is my bag checked all the way through to my final destination?
Chloe has a direct flight, so it's simple. The agent says, "Have a good flight," and Chloe is done with check in. Now she has to go through security.
She follows the signs that say security or TSA checkpoint. TSA stands for the Transportation Security Administration. They are the people in uniform responsible for airport security.
She gets into a long line. Some airports have separate faster lines for people with TSA PreCheck or CLEAR. These are programs you can pay to join for expedited screening.
If you have TSA PreCheck, you usually don't have to take off your shoes or remove your laptop. Clear uses biometrics, like your fingerprints or eyes, to verify your identity even faster.
But Chloe is in the regular line. She sees a family in front of her having a bit of trouble holding up the line. Being prepared here is good etiquette.
It really is. It helps everyone. Have your ID and boarding pass in your hand, not buried in your bag. And start taking off your jacket and shoes while you're waiting.
When Chloe gets to the front, a TSA agent will look at her boarding pass and ID. The agent says, "Please place your bags flat on the conveyor belt."
Here she will see large plastic containers called bins. She knows she needs to organize her things for the x-ray machine.
A TSA agent gives instructions. Laptops, tablets, and all large electronics in a separate bin. Shoes, jackets, and belts off.
Chloe puts her shoes, jacket, and purse in one bin. She puts her laptop in a second bin and her backpack, with the clear bag of liquids on top, in a third. She pushes them onto the conveyor belt.
Now it's her turn to be screened. She walks through a large machine. This is a metal detector or a body scanner.
The body scanner is a big glass cylinder. The agent will tell her, please step inside and put your feet on the footprints. Raise your arms above your head.
She does this, a part of the machine rotates around her, and then the agent says, "Okay, you can step out."
She walks through and there is no beep. But as she's waiting for her bags, a TSA agent motions to her. Ma'am, we're doing random additional screening. Can you please step aside?
This can sound scary, but it's very normal. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong.
The agent will use a small cloth to swab her hands or her bag, and then place the swab in a machine that checks for trace amounts of explosive material. It only takes a few seconds. The agent says, "You're all clear. Thank you."
Chloe's bags come through the scanner, but the agent watching the screen stops the belt with her backpack on it. "Excuse me, ma'am, is this your bag?"
Chloe says, "Yes, it is." The agent says, "We need to perform a bag check." This just means they saw something on the x-ray they need to look at more closely.
The agent puts on gloves, opens her bag, and pulls out a bottle of sunscreen. It's too big. "I'm sorry, but this bottle is too large to take in your carry-on. We'll have to confiscate it."
Chloe had forgotten about it. "Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that was in there. That's fine." The agent disposes of the sunscreen and gives the bag back to her.
She puts her shoes and jacket back on, puts her laptop back in her backpack, and she is officially through security. She is now in the secure area of the airport where the gates are.
This area is called the concourse or the departures lounge. Here you'll find restaurants, shops, and restrooms. Chloe checks the big departure screens.
These screens list all the flights, their destinations, their gate numbers, and their status, like on time, delayed, boarding, or gate change.
Let's talk about those statuses. On time is what you want to see. Delayed means the flight will leave late. The screen will show a new departure time. Boarding means it's time to go to the gate now.
Gate change is an important one to watch for. It means you need to go to a different gate, and the worst one is canceled. If that happens, you need to find an airline agent for help.
She sees her flight to Chicago, gate B12, is still on time. She has some time, so she finds a coffee shop and a charging station to charge her phone.
She finds gate B12. There are many people waiting. Suddenly, the gate agent makes an announcement. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This flight is very full today. We are looking for a few volunteers to take a later flight.
This is a common situation. The flight is oversold. This means the airline sold more tickets than there are seats on the plane.
Exactly. So they ask for volunteers to give up their seat. In exchange, they will offer compensation like a travel voucher for a future flight, and they will book you on the next available flight.
Chloe wants to get to Chicago on time, so she does not volunteer.
Then the gate agent makes another announcement. We will need to gate check all carry-on bags for passengers in groups 4 and 5.
What does that mean, gate check?
It means the overhead bins on the plane are going to be completely full. So they require people in the last boarding groups to give them their carry-on bags at the gate. They will put a tag on it and put it under the plane. It's free.
You then collect the bag at the baggage claim at your destination, not at the jet bridge. It's important to take out anything fragile or important, like medication or your laptop, before they take the bag.
Chloe is in group 3, so she can keep her bag. Soon the agent makes the first boarding announcement. Good afternoon, passengers. We will now begin our pre-boarding.
Pre-boarding is for passengers who need extra time or assistance, like people in wheelchairs or families with very young children.
After pre-boarding, they will call the premium groups, like first class, and then they will proceed by group number. We are now boarding group 1.
Chloe waits patiently. Finally, the agent announces, now boarding group 3.
It's her turn. She gets in line, opens the mobile boarding pass on her phone, and the agent scans it. Welcome aboard.
Chloe walks down a long hallway called the jet bridge, which connects the gate directly to the airplane door.
As she steps onto the plane, a flight attendant greets her. Hello, welcome. Chloe finds her seat number on her boarding pass. It says 15 degrees Celsius. 15 is the row number, and C is the seat.
She walks down the aisle looking at the row numbers. She finds row 15. The seats are labeled A, B, C across the row. Since she has 15C, it's the aisle seat.
She puts her backpack in the overhead bin, closes it, sits down, and fastens her seatbelt.
Once all the passengers are seated, the captain will make an announcement. Good afternoon. This is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard. Our flight time to Chicago today will be 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Then the flight attendants will do a safety demonstration. After the plane takes off and is safely in the air, the in-flight service begins.
A flight attendant comes to her row with a cart and asks, "Can I get you anything to drink?"
Chloe says, I'll have a ginger ale, please. The flight attendant gives her the drink and a small bag of pretzels.
Later, the plane starts to shake a little. This is turbulence. The pilot turns on the seatbelt sign and says, "Folks, we're experiencing a little bit of turbulence. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts."
As the flight gets closer to Chicago, the pilot announces they are beginning their descent. The flight attendants will walk through the cabin to collect trash.
They'll say, "Please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position for landing."
The plane lands safely. As it taxis to the gate, the flight attendant makes a final announcement. On behalf of Global Air and this entire crew, we'd like to welcome you to Chicago. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign.
When the sign turns off, everyone stands up to get their bags. After Chloe gets off the plane, a process called deplaning, she needs to follow the signs for baggage claim.
Baggage claim is a large area with several moving conveyor belts called carousels. She needs to find the right carousel for her flight.
There will be screens that show which flight's bags are arriving at which carousel. She finds the one for Flight 582.
She waits with a crowd of other passengers. Soon, bags start to appear. But the carousel stops and her bag never appeared.
Oh no, her bag is lost. What does she do now, Ryan?
The first thing is not to panic. This does happen. She needs to go to the baggage service office for her airline, which is usually located right there in the baggage claim area.
She goes to the office and tells the agent, "Excuse me, my bag did not arrive on the carousel from Flight 582.
The agent will be very helpful. They will ask for the baggage claim sticker that she got at the bag drop. It has a tracking number on it.
Chloe gives it to the agent. The agent types it into the computer and says, "Okay, it looks like your bag was accidentally left in New York. The good news is that it will be on the next flight, which arrives tonight."
The agent will then ask for the address where she is staying. We will have the bag delivered directly to you by a courier service tomorrow morning. Can I get a delivery address and a contact phone number?
Chloe gives her hotel information. The agent creates a file and gives her a file reference number and a phone number to call if she has questions. The airline will take care of getting her bag to her.
That's a huge relief. Now that she's handled that, she can finally leave the airport. She follows the signs for ground transportation.
This is the area where you find taxis, shuttles, and the ride sharing pickup area for services like Uber and Lyft. Chloe finds the correct area, orders a car on her phone, and her long travel day is finally over.
From booking a ticket to filing a lost bag claim, we have covered almost every situation you could imagine at a U.S. airport.
We hope this very detailed step by step guide was useful. The key is to know the vocabulary and not be afraid to ask questions. Airport employees are there to help you.
The more you travel, the more this all becomes second nature. Practice these phrases and you'll navigate any American airport like a pro.
That's all the time we have for today's lesson. We know it was a long one, but we hope you found it incredibly valuable.
If you found this podcast helpful, we would love it if you gave it a thumbs up and shared it with a friend who is also learning English.
And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click that little notification bell. That's the best way to make sure you get our new lessons as soon as they are released.
Your support means the world to us. Let us know in the comments what your dream travel destination is. We'd love to hear where you want to go.
Thank you so much for listening to the English Practice Podcast. Until next time, keep up the great work.
Happy travels.
Goodbye for now.